Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog, Discord server, MeWe group, this channel. So, as an aside, I've learned to combat the COVID brain fog by high doses of caffeine. Probably not a long-term solution, but got me through a bunch of leg and emails. My nose is itchy though. Maybe it's the caffeine. So, it was announced on Facebook, and you can go to the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum website. TSR Hobbies has a new release coming out. It's actually an adventure module. It's the Cult of Abaddon. I don't quite understand the numbering because in the corner it's M0-2101, but it's adventure module KHS1. I guess it's going to be part of a series. I find the most interesting aspect of this is it's written by Vince, the evil DM Florio. For those that don't know, Vince wrote an any winning game that was OSR. So Vince can write OSR. Vince has the experience. Vince has the bona fides to do so. So this is interesting. Okay. Vince, and listen, we not until unexpected, Vince has connections, but if you can write and the company has produced nothing, I'd like to see you produce something for them. And this is kind of what Ben, Mike, and myself have been talking about for weeks, months, is just put some product out and slap Ernie's name on stuff. So, with Ernest Gygax Jr., not a bad deal. It's a marketing deal. I don't know how much input Ernie had. Again, Vince is an author that can stand on his own, but Ernie is definitely a known entity and it's going to sell for use with any OSR RPG game. You don't need a system. I think Frog God has learned that. You don't need to have your own system. They all pretty much play similarly, right? But Vince's was Mazes and Perils, or is. I'm not sure if it's still available on drive-through, but if it is, snag it. It's a great version of an OSR game. So here's the blurb. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I know Vince did not write this. Or if Vince wrote this, somebody else went in and got a little, I don't know, frisky with their fingers. The adventurers stumble across a village in need of help. Something is poisoning the people of this tiny village, and the party needs to investigate, in order to find out what the cause of this is? Question mark. There's no need for a question mark there. Vince is an author. Vince has written. Vince does casts. He did radio. This wasn't Vince. Why are people suddenly getting sick and then dying? The Cult of Abaddon is an adventure written for a small party of 4 players. There are levels from 1 to 2. And this module can be played in 1 or 2 sessions depending on how the players play the game. Okay. So now there's a bit more of a write-up later on. That's when you have a grammatical issue on your cover. Again, not a reflection on Vince. This is, I'm sure, the TSR president that shall be named later. The Cult of Abaddon is, they got to change their website interface. It says backordered, but really it's a pre-order. $14.99 for a print adventure. That's not bad at all. That's actually pretty reasonable. By Vince Florio with Ernest Gygax Jr. Pre-orders as of now will be shipped out by the end of January 2022. End of the month. We got a week. By the end of the month, it'll be shipping. So not a bad deal. You can get this at the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum. I will put a link in the they call it the show notes, but whatever. The blurb that goes along with this cast. Now, the inhabitants of a small, obscure village are being terrorized by the cult of the Red Hand. The high priest is cursing the water supply of the village of Morris. This curse causes the inhabitants to fall ill and finally die. Okay. The cult needs the souls of the dead to summon a demon. The demon Abaddon will break free from his dark prison deep within the Underdark. You are an adventurer with little experience, but you and your companions are brave and hungry to draw your swords for the first time. While traveling among the realms, you stumble across this village and seek a small inn to find rest in. Again, this is not how Vince writes. If you've seen his prior work, this is, in any case. However, soon after arriving, you find out that this village is cursed. You are soon faced with the decision to either leave these innocent villagers behind or help them stop this curse and at the same time save the world even from possible doom. The Cult of Abaddon is an adventure written for a small party of four levels 1 to 2. Depending on how the players drive the game, it can be played in 1 or 2 sessions. All right. Again, ignoring the write-up, ignoring the problems with the cover blurb, this is by Vince. Vince has won an Emmy for writing Mazes and Perils, an OSR RPG. I think it was probably the first OSR release to win an Emmy. So he's got the experience. He can do this. And I'm going to put my guess down is that he can do it and will do it and did do it. And that the errors, such as they are the input from the president of TSR, whose name should not be named. But I wish Vince luck with this. Don't know if they get any. Probably not, because the Ennies hate new TSR, but in any case. All right, folks. So listen, if you we're waiting for a response on OSR Christmas gift giving. I went through a ton of emails last night while high on excessive amounts of caffeine to clear out the brain fog. Didn't know it would work. It worked. I struck while the iron was hot. So if you think that you are owed something, that you should be gifted something, and you didn't get an email from me, email me. All right, and we'll figure it out. On that note, you're on the midst of the world of the pandemic, right? The pandemic is here. It's not bullshit. It exists. I am not a medical professional. I happen to be vaxxed and boosted, but I'm not telling you to get vaxxed. I'm not telling you not to get vaxxed. I'm not saying wear a mask. I'm saying don't wear a mask. I am going to tell you to do what I did. It's my advice to you is to seek a medical professional, or more than one, and should be those that know your medical history and be guided by their advice. That's what I did. All right. Be safe, be well, God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well, and I will be back again tomorrow. And yeah, Wednesday at 8 p.m., the live stream with Bad Mike. I think we have John Peterson on. Holy shit. All right, folks. On that note, laters.